What are we gonna get? Position 4. Human Being is one of the better players in the game. Some high-end techs, holo projectors, skilled combat, compact, and true sayer. Playing 4th position. You know, I kind of think this is a romper game. If I get that skilled compact, which I don't think most people want. Could be fun. Could also just play Elbon and just be efficient. Let's do Ilbon. He's got a Legion here for him, and also a Holtzman engine. And it's not like Ilbon can't get the X Guild. Okay, so what do we got? I went to the bathroom. So, Human is playing Leto. Seems he must play all day, because he was playing in a game with one of my friends earlier today. Yuna in second is pretty strong. And of course, Baron's going to be in the game. I like seeing my ring. Party Warriors is a logical choice with this combat. Yuna does what Yuna does. Baron gets fold space going third. That leaves me with kind of some... I mean, Wealth Mentat is good, and I don't think Yuna's going to go for Mentat, given that she's second. So let's just do that. We have High Persuasion. If we get Sedekar Legion, I'll be happy. If we don't, if we get like True Sayer or Guild, I'll be happy too. It's all good. Very good turn for Leto. The problem is, the majority of the cards that we could draw have no persuasion. So we probably aren't getting the Legion, actually. We need to see final troop deployments here. What's Baron going to do? Etc. One of the cities will be available to us. We may decide to boycott this combat entirely, even though it's pretty good. 2 troops for 2 Solari is not a great deal. I guess we draw 2 cards with Mentat because we're Ilbon, so we probably... Well, who knows? We could very easily get 2-0 Persuasion cards. Nope, we get the 5. We get the 7. It's a little unnecessary. But hey, I mean, they might reveal something good. You never know. We got Jessica, I would early reveal for. Web of Power. Baron's gonna get it. Maybe we get lucky and he doesn't have it. But I bet he does. Or she. Mrs. Lou, so I think it's a she. We get the Legion, I guess. Very sad. I was looking forward to having that Web of Power. Power play is good. Probably better than the Legion in the long run. Or in the short run, I mean. So, we have no daggers, so we have to put 2 in to get... I mean, we could just put 3 in and get 3 Solari. I don't know that that's actually a good play, but we could do it. If we get 2 Spice, we could get Hollow Projectors. I mean, I don't know. I don't know about that. We could just cycle the deck by going here. Let's do this first and then see how many we have to deploy. So 1 dagger means 2 troops gets us second, which I think is a good trade. And then we pick up the Legion. Does Baron want to play a card? No. Cool. Puts us to 4 Solari. Unum will get the first Swordmaster, but we have a decent shot at the second. Unfortunately, Leto is going to get Interstellar round 2. You're back into the dagger, which I'm not loving, but we have access to Mentat again. Could also go High Council. High Council would take us to 4, most likely it would take us to 5 Persuasion, so it would give us the Hardy Warriors. I don't think it's the play. I think you still want Swordmaster on this leader. We'll see. You know, I could also just Wealth again, to be honest. At least Baron is going to share Interstellar with Leto. Let's do this first. Lets us know our options. Okay, cool. We've got good persuasion. We're probably not going to get the power play, though. We didn't get the Legion, which is unfortunate. We probably don't want to go to Wealth, because Legion can go to Wealth. And we just don't need that much Emperor influence. I mean, it helps us in the Swordmaster race, but I'd rather take Sardaukar Legion over there, given the choice. Nobody has any water. It might just be better to go to Still Suits. But then there's an open question: how are we going to get to? How are we going to get to 8 Solari? I don't know the answer. I mean, Holtzman is definitely a goal. It's just the Haga Basin doesn't get us there. If we go to Arakeen, I like Arakeen here actually because it lets us kind of get the city. Oh my gosh, what is all this persuasion? It lets us get the water and the intrigue, and it blocks Arakeen from the other players. which means, you know, if they want to deploy troops, basically they have to go to, like, Still Suits or Gather Spice. Pretty much locks me in for a water as well, which is good if I want the Holtzman. Okay, wealth is gone. Don't love that just because I don't want Leto having his Swordmaster before me, but there's nothing I can do about it. We've got an extra Solari in our hand next round. Basically, all three of our good cards to play are in that hand. It's a little unfortunate. Okay, so now we don't really have a choice. Both of the spaces we want got taken. We could reveal early for the power play, but I don't think it's logical. We got to play our actions. Probably could have gotten away with putting in one troop because Yuna has a dagger in play and a dagger in discard. But we didn't know what Leto had available. And Leto could have gone to Still Suits instead of her, right? No, he couldn't have. We maybe overspent on troops there. So he has 2 in the shadows. Now that would be worth revealing early for. But we couldn't get in the shadows and power play. Very awkward. But if I give it to Leto, that's going to be pretty bad. I could do in the shadows plus Fremenkamp. But it's going to cost me my action. I'm not a fan of that. Not a fan of this whole choice. Neither of them get the power play. I think I just get the power play and ignore the fact that there's a in the shadows available. Like, pound for pound, power play is the better card. So, secrets or fold space? I'm thinking secrets. I mean, fold space is probably... We probably just want to be in that position to where we can access that, right? No, but, I mean, this gives an immediate benefit. And there's 2 guys already jostling for it with no invasion ships out. Let's do this instead. Okay, so that's good to know that we would have that as an option. Yeah, that wasn't going to last. We knew that much. Bashar is cool, but not the play. Power play is definitely better. Watch me flip another in the shadows when I buy it, too. We kind of want to prioritize spice production now because we want spice for Holtzman and for Sleeper Must Awaken. So, things that give us water... Cards that give us water and cards that give us spice are important now. We could draw the power play. If we do, we can play it to full space and make up for lost time. It's not as good as using power play to take an alliance, but I don't want to wait that long. Human, he's in the best position here. It's quite scary, actually. Charisma is really good. Especially that draws us towards the Holtzman. Because that tells us, hey, you're probably going to get that Holtzman point if you really want it. This is 4 spice, 5 spice, so if we go here and then we go to Tech Negotiation, that would get us the card. The problem with that is that doesn't involve getting our Sword Master. You're being way too slow, Yuna. Way too slow. So we have Legion now, we have Signet Ring. We could hypothetically play Ring here, Legion here, and we still got our main cards played. We could also play Ring, Conspire. And that would get us our Swordmaster next round. Generates a little more Solari than we need. Could also play Dune, Ring, and Conspire, which is probably the better sequence overall, if that's what we want to do. Okay, so is it Ring Holtzman or is it Dune Ring Conspire? Holtzman is nice, but so is having your Swordmaster. And nobody else is threatening Holtzman. We could also Ring, Legion, Diplomacy up there. I think that's better. Yeah, that's better. So we do this. We do not deploy. If we draw the power play, it is kind of bad. But it's not the end of the world. Like I said, I mean, we can steal someone's alliance later in the game. The advantage of having Swordmaster next round is that we block Leto, who's probably in the lead. Although Baron's got 4 points. And probably is going to win this combat. And Swordmaster sooner. Plus, playing Legion to Mentat allows us to react with lots of troops. If Baron doesn't commit, then all of a sudden maybe it is better for us to spend those troops, and we can kind of change our mind if we have to. Good news is Yuna doesn't have enough spice to take the Holtzman, but we won't either at the end of this. Neither of these cards provide immediate benefit. So do this. So we do draw the power play. Yeah, that's a little bit awkward. I mean, we could power play to fold space, and then we have Interstellar next round that we can steal from them. No, we can't. We can't do that. Just kidding. But honestly, we can power play the Conspire. You know, that might be a waste. Like, isn't it probably better to play the power play to a non-Emperor faction since we have an extra Emperor influence in our deck? But that's probably overthinking it a little bit. I don't know. I mean, the extra persuasion on the margin does give us a space travel, which is more faction to others' factions, which we care about. So we know that, you know, there's a water in play for being third here. And we're going to be able to have the last move. So maybe it's like, actually, it's power play to still suits, you know? I mean, I don't know. That's hard for me to imagine doing that. Really, having a Swordmaster is probably just a better. Gosh, Baron's running away with this. I mean, so I could stop Baron from winning the combat, right? Like, I could go to, you know, Arakeen, and that would stop Baron from winning the combat, most likely. But I don't actually want to do it. Lito's at 4-2, so we don't need to play just to stop Baron. Let's just go ahead and do the conspiracy. Get our garrison beefed up for later. Corner the market. Okay, that is screaming at us that you need to get the ultimate engine. ASAP. Which is unfortunate because we just spent all of our spice. I mean, maybe we don't. Wait, maybe we go no Swordmaster this game. Maybe we go just Mentats and High Council. We definitely pick up a space travel because it's 2 persuasion, which we really want right now. Now, why would you do that? You must really want a High Council seat. Our hand next round is going to suck. But we're going to have green, so we can go to Swordmaster or High Council depending on what we need. Taking this is good for securing the Holtzman. We redo the Legion, so we don't have a lot of options in this hand. Well, so what happens if we take High Council? We draw a card, we go to 8. That's probably a Spice Must Flow this round, or one of these 6s. We could also just grab the Spice, but that doesn't get us there, so I don't see it being the play. I think we got to grab Swordmaster. Like, it's just going to pay off in the long run, especially since we're denying it from Leto. Next priority is Basin. We don't really want this thing. This requires more... Yeah, we didn't get it. Requires more spice than we could probably produce. So we still want lots and lots of Solari. And it wouldn't be terrible to take Legion back to Wealth, except that it's going to kind of lock our garrison up pretty bad. I think otherwise our play is to Arakeen. There's water in this, which is nice. So we should try to place no matter what, I think. So that to me says Arakeen good. Especially since we kind of want to get either the Treachery or a Spice Must Flow. He does want that High Council seat. If we go to Wealth, we don't have a green, so then we can't Mentat with it, so there's no point. Besides taking us closer to High Council in the future. So let's do this. It's not bad. Presumably Leto will take his next turn to deploy, but at least we'll know what he's packing. And we can surprise him with the Legion, potentially. He does not, so we have a pretty good chance of winning the combat. The problem with space travel, well, we can't really get Spice and Flow without playing the Charisma no matter what we do. So it's probably just that we should play the space travel just to play it, just to have the Persuasion in the fold space. Hard to beat a Baron with a Web of Power. That's going to become a problem as the game goes later. Especially because we have an Intrigue card that we can't really spend, and an Intrigue we don't want to spend. So we could either take Emperor Alliance... I mean, I don't think these guys are going to come into the combat on me, but Carthag is still a possibility. So let's play the space travel. Don't like drawing that. Is what it is. Does mean that we get a Spice Must Flow if we play the Charisma, but I think we're better off getting the Treachery. Yuna's very far behind these two, and I'm probably behind them unless I can get this corner of the market to go off. Okay, interesting. We're gonna know troop deployments here. I mean, Yuna could hypothetically Hardy Warriors, but if she does, she doesn't have enough troops to compete with us anyway, so unless Baron does something here, I think we're pretty safe. Okay, so that's Baron doing something. And the water is really good on its own merit, but I think the point is still better. Especially when you're dealing with a Baron that's kind of a runaway. So we reveal. We definitely don't use the Charisma. We buy the Treachery. We deploy 2 troops, I think. I mean, he's got a Dagger in play. A Dagger in discard. Spice Hunter in discard. Has he bought... What did he buy last round? You know what? Let's just... It's Imperial Basin. We want the spice. Just put all troops in. Don't even second guess ourselves here. More than I want to spend, and I bet you I could get it with one fewer troop. If he has an ambush, we lose anyway. That's kind of the issue. There's a lot of two, like at the tiebreaker, the finesse, the cannon turrets. He gets opulence. Not great. Not great. The problem with treachery is it's a 0 persuasion card, but you know what? So is Spice Must Flow. Maybe he's going to get Thufir instead. No daggers in hand, so it's just whatever his intrigue card is. Or her intrigue card, I don't know. Does pick up the opulence. No money in the bank is the good news here. Okay. Unit taking a lot of agent actions this round. Alright, what you got? You got a combat card? Looks like you're thinking about it. Nah, okay, cool. Two water is practically a point anyway, to be honest. She already had 3, so it's not enabling her to do something she couldn't have done anyway. Okay. We have to start buying Spice Must Flow soon. We don't have that much time to wait. These high council seats are popular, which is annoying me. Yeah, that's annoying. I mean, the good news is space travel. We can get to some draw power, and we can go up on a guild. I think we would prefer to play our ring first because we want to be able to access the Mentat. Problem is, every time we Mentat, we move ourselves farther away from High Council. Not a single tech has gone out this game. They're just too expensive, I guess. Nobody took Interstellar, which is a little surprising. Why did... Yeah, it's just a misplay from Leto, right? Like, nobody was going to take Interstellar from... Or nobody was going to take Swordmaster from you. So if we're playing Ring, where are we playing it? I mean, we could do it to smuggling just to bulk on Solari. We could take it to Carthag, but that puts us at theft range. We could play the Charisma to kind of make up for it. I think we played at Arakeen. Or we could go here to block Leto. Let's go to Arakeen. We need to draw as much as possible, I think. Ouch. That's not good. Problem that Yuna's going to run into is that Leto may just take BG out from under her with in the shadows. Yeah, more water. So clearly at this point, she's got all the water she needs. And that's going to be a big problem for us if we're going to try to score this in a corner of the market. The good news is at least we get Mentat. Well, now Charisma would get us there. That's something. We have 2 dead cards, and some persuasion cards. That means playing space travel most likely gives us negative persuasion. Like, that's the most likely outcome. And it's just looking like it's going to be too difficult to get Holtzman. We just don't have the resources. Probably want to take Tech Negotiation next, just to bump our persuasion up a little bit. Or we can take Wealth. Let's take Wealth. Like, Wealth plus Tech Negotiation would give us what we want. And we need to load up for the next... load up for the next... Mentat visit. All the spaces are taken, so at this point we can do whatever we want. There's also some value in Imperial Basin, which is 2 spice for nothing. Okay, so let's do this. Go ahead and take that alliance. Wow. Okay. Cool. But yeah, they're already buying Spice Plus Flows. Did Leto also buy one? No, he didn't. But I think Baron... Oh, Baron's 1 short. That's good. You know, next hand doesn't have that much persuasion, but the fold space is going to make it more than it looks like. If we play the space travel, we don't get the Spice Must Flow, but we do get the guild point. Gurney's pretty good. But I guess we could... Gurney is not a bad fail spot. Like... The problem is, I don't want to use the Charisma to get Gurney when I have a corner of the market. That's just stupid. Now, Guild Bankers is very interesting. That's very interesting. The faction access isn't necessary, but if this gets me 2 Spice Must Flows, it's kind of worth it. Right? Take Negotiation also gives me a... That is very interesting. I could end up drawing the Treachery or the Fold Space, which would be bad. Condensing, which would be fantastic. Buying... You know, buying a Spice Must Flow this early is bad for my deck. And it could cost me later Spice Must Flows. So what I'm going to do... I'm actually going to play the Space Travel. Oh, that sucks. Because... probably I'm not going to get 3 Spice Must Flows. So I might as well buy the Guild Bankers. Sucks that I had to... Like, the Fold Space is probably the worst card I could have drawn there. I have a huge force advantage for next round, though, which is nice. Okay, we get blocked from Interstellar, no problem. I mean, it's good, but we kind of expected it, right? The problem is that I don't know that we can get a Spice Must Flow this round. Let's start here. That opens up the selective breeding route. And lets us deploy a little bit. But actually, we don't want to do that. We're probably gonna win this combat from the treachery anyway. And it's not like we're gonna get the BG Alliance. Like, with an In the Shadows in the game and a Web of Power, it's not happening. I think we should probably actually prioritize Arakeen. Playing the Treachery, though, I mean, the advantage of that is that it gives us Persuasion without costing us Persuasion. So if we can... I don't want to Selective Breeding, though, because it costs me Spice, which is too valuable. Okay, well, I don't have an option. Ina freaking loves that space. I don't even know how she's getting so much spice and water. Like, how's she getting the water to be able to afford to go there so often? Well, now things get tricky. We can't even take it to... I don't know what to do. I guess we go to Arakeen. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 10 of our cards are access Mentat, so, you know, more than likely we will draw into Mentat. And then we can play Treachery after that. I still am not confident that Yuna's going to hold that alliance. I mean, it's good to keep it away from Baron, but Baron can just infiltrate there. And it looks like, based on that play, that's exactly what she's going to do. Or she has a card. Jeez Louise. There's the dagger. We don't need to deploy any units. We already have enough. The Treachery, it's not negotiable. I don't think Mentat can bail us out of this, though. But we're getting so much Solari from the combat, we might as well do it. As long as Leto doesn't do it for us. Before us, I mean. No? What are you doing, Leto? Don't say Mentat. Buying troops that you can't deploy is a little weird. I guess he just wants the troops. More power to him, I guess. Going up with Emperor is kind of weird. I don't understand the logic. Or with a guild, I mean, it's kind of weird. I don't understand the logic of that. Maybe it's because I have a Treachery? I don't know. I don't want to I don't want to fight you with the treachery, Leto. I guess he's got all 4 of the base points, so he does. It's not like, yeah. Whereas we only have 2 of them. Yuna could win this. It's not impossible. If she has a Spice Must Flow this round, it's possible. I don't think the game's going to round 8, which means that our odds of triggering the corner of the market are very low. Might as well throw a Dreadnought in. There's nothing costing you if you do. Just cold space. Another dagger. Man, these things won't go away. Yeah, it's very annoying. There goes the place we wanted to send the fold space. Or the treachery, for that matter. Even with charisma taking us to 5, we still can't do it. I mean, I guess we can take treachery to fold space, but it's just such a waste. And we don't have enough spice to buy the Holtzman. It's too late for it anyway. Not good. Not good at all. People keep playing the BG so often. We have some games where nobody ever goes to selective breeding the entire game, and this game has gone every single round. It's kind of surprising me. Man. Yeah, I mean, it's good if you can go to selective breeding every single round, but I just don't know how she can afford it. I mean, okay, if I drew the guild banker specifically, I still wouldn't have a Spice Must Flow. So this is tough because I really want this treachery, but like, I'm just not gonna get it next round, I don't think. But then I'm just throwing a bunch of fold spaces in my deck that I can't use for anything. If I went to Carthag, I mean, I already have a charisma. What else could I draw that would get me there? I mean, I have too much faction influence, really. I guess we'll do this. I hate it, but because like Leto is not the guy I need to be threatening at this point. But at least it gives me Solari. I wonder if getting Swordmaster this game was a mistake. The Solari doesn't do anything, right? I mean, it lets me maybe go to like Dreadnought next round or something, just as like a way to draw cards. And the good news is we got all the crap out of our deck, so if we can draw if we can buy 2 Spice Must Flows next round, if we can get a 12 Persuasion, we'll still get the card. That sounds unlikely, but I mean, it's possible. Do we just buy another space travel? Yeah, Arrakis Liaison's better for what we're trying to do. I mean, we do have a hidden point up our sleeve here. That's the good of all this, I suppose. If we could buy 2 Spice Must Flows, it would take us to 7. This would be 8. This would be 9. That's still not enough. That's crazy. If we could do all that and win the combat, we would win the game. I mean, we have High Council Solari now, and nobody's going to block us from it. And going there does draw us a card. Okay. Grand Vision means maybe the game does go another round. It also means if I win the combat, I could either potentially steal Guild or go up on Fremen. It's basically a point. It makes the game more shaky, and I kind of like that. So we have 3 persuasion in deck here. I guess there's such a thing as too many fold spaces. We really probably want to take fold space to selective breeding, but that kind of puts us away from the spice, the Sleeper Must Awaken. But we don't have any water, so we don't have a choice. And that is a point. So I think that's what has to happen. We trash out a dagger for sure. Oh my god. Dude, what? Why is it always selective breeding every single round? Okay. Well, I mean, we can still go to secrets. I had no idea it would be this difficult to find a reservation on Bit of Gesserit. That's just so bizarre. But if I go to secrets, I do kind of risk... He didn't play Web of Power, did he? No, and he could have it in hand. So, let's do this. We fold space here. Let's get our point. Plans within plans is nothing, I think. Unless we can find a way to get another bump with BG somehow. We play the Charisma. We have to get to 12. I think. It's going to be tough. We have Corner of the Market and plans within plans, which is kind of funny. You know, we could have stolen Leto's Alliance there. I don't really care to do that, though. Like, going to fold space doesn't actually do anything for me. And playing the space travel is not what I want to be doing. It's a 2 persuasion card. Sure, it draws a card, but that's -1 persuasion. Whereas playing the fold space is +2 persuasion. I mean, plans, if the game goes another round, we probably do get a 3rd bump with BG, and that would be a point from plans. It's a very, like, top-heavy hand. Like, we can't use these cards, really, proactively. It's a little threatening. I'm not sure why she would do that. It's a little threatening. I mean, maybe she plans to win the combat and steal Emperor from me. It looks like we're going to be able to get Mentat here. If we can get Mentat and also High Council, that would be the dream. Sidecar Legion will go to green, so we can definitely do it. But I'm annoyed because if we go to Mentat, like, we're probably going to draw one of these 0 persuasions. We've got 2 daggers and 2 fold spaces. The combat definitely matters. I just don't... Yeah, I don't know. I have very heavy incentives to focus on persuasion instead. Yeah, like, see, like, there's freaking daggers everywhere, dude. I guess, you know, taking dagger to High Council gets us to 10 and draws a card. So maybe we could get to 12. Problem is the Emperor Alliance is one of the ones that's kind of in play in this whole thing. I mean, I could take Legion to Wealth as a protective move. She plays the Bashar, so she's not going to reveal it. We really just don't want Baron to win the combat. As long as Baron doesn't win the combat, I think we're okay. But 9 cards in hand is terrifying, which means the game's going to end this round. It's not going to go another round. So we have to counterpoints, right? Like, we don't have it on plans. We just don't. There's not a way to make it happen. Um, so this is nothing. This is also probably nothing, unfortunately, because we bought the treachery. But if we had bought the spice must flow, then we wouldn't. I mean, it wouldn't really make a difference because then we wouldn't have the charisma this round. Baron to secret. Okay, just trying to shore up the win, I guess. I mean, web of power on Barons is what it is. Yeah, so we go to High Council just to try to draw more stuff. Okay, we're one short. That's really unfortunate. We get to 7 with the Sleeper Must Awaken. 8 with a single Spice Must Flow. We could get to 10 if we had even one more Persuasion, but we don't. You know, we could buy Hollowed Projectors, but that's a crapshoot, right? Like, okay, we throw out Dune the Desert Planet, draw into a different card, and that doesn't get us to 10, that gets us to 9, so... Now, Baron does have Fremen Alliance, actually, so maybe the game won't end this round. If Baron loses her Fremen Alliance to Leto, which is obviously what should happen here. Oh, just kidding. Opulence. Okay, game's over. Well, that's disappointing. I can't even get third with the Legion. Man, this sucks. If we play Legion to Dreadnought, there are 2 cards in this deck that would give us what we need. It's not much, but it's a chance. 2 and 7. We're not getting to 11 though, so we're not gonna win the game, but... Undo that first. Let's draw the card first. We got it. We decline. Sleeper Must Awaken to 7. 2 Spice Must Flows to 9. Corner of the Market to 10. We don't get to 11. But maybe... Well, no, because Baron still has more spice than us, so it's game over. We're going to lose on Spice Tiebreaker by the sounds of it. Yeah. We can put 3 troops in. No, we can't. We don't have the Legion anymore. You know, we really need... We actually really need Leto to win this. If only I had gotten that Holtzman. Or like 1 extra bump with the BG. We're so close. If the game goes another round, we would be in perfect shape, but that's not what happened. Unit has 2, so we didn't have more. If Unit had 1 fewer Spice Must Flow, we would win. So many ifs. So close. So close.